Hey guys, Sunstreaker Water here. Welcome back to another Thursday live stream where, yes, as always, covering the hot topics in Transformers Earth Wars, and this week is no different. So, been a lot of drama this week in Discord, which we're going to address tonight. We're going to talk about it. I'll leave it at that for now, but we are going to talk about it. We're going to talk about my trip to TF Nation. I did do some of the vlog, but my battery ran out on my phone. I know, proper noob mistake. I literally got there and Dale was like, "Do you bring a battery pack?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Your battery's gonna run out real quick with video, you know." I was like, "Nah, it'll be fine." Nope, it wasn't. So I was kind of a bit crappy really, because the ending that I wanted to do and everything like that, it didn't really work. But we'll talk about it today. We'll talk about what happened. We'll talk about the stuff that I can talk about. There's some stuff that I said that, listen, while we're there, I won't talk about, kind of an NDA. So I won't talk about that. But we'll talk about some of the stuff that I can talk about anyway. We're talking about a bit of meta shift in terms of a bot, which I never thought I'd be saying this, but this certain bot is going to have a bit of a meta shift. Will it? Maybe, maybe not. But for the time being, it is. So we'll talk a bit about that as well. We're talking a bit about Trailbreaker as well. Obviously, the new bot coming this weekend. I know the 4-star is already in the game. No huge changes really happening since the sort of release of the patch. But we're going to talk a bit about that and comparing it to other bots that are similar and asking the question on whether it's really worth it or not. And then obviously we talk about the patch and Ruination. I mean, it wouldn't be a stream unless we talk about the patch and Ruination, because that is what everyone is obviously talking about non-stop. So, we're also going to talk a bit about that as well. I'm going to talk about the Ruination changes that have happened and whether I'm happy or not with them, and how I'm going to use him and whether he is enough and whether he's improving even more, and what I think needs to improve as well. So, loads to come as always. So, let's see who we've got in the chat. So, we've obviously got Trax and Grind Time and Stephen Gomez, my moderators, obviously members, long-serving members. So, massive shout out to you guys. Thank you for being members and moderators. Vic Ching as well, thank you. We've got Hellraiser, we've got Darklands, we've got Blade 19, other of my members as well. Good to see you. We've got my buddy Jacada. Thanks for joining, buddy. Good to see you, definitely. We've got Carnage Mac. Alright. We've got Giga. We've got Aldrich U. Hello. Good to see you. You. We've got Ricky Lau as well. We've got Chris Harmon too. We've got... Who else have we got? My buddy Kroto. Go and check out his YouTube channel. There's a lot of war attacks. Pretty cool. One of my fellow comrades and trying to push me up that war ladder, hot on my heel, I think. I don't think he's above me. I don't think he's just below me, I think. Hot on my heels, though, pushing them scores up. We've got Buddy Crack Candyman, of course. What drama in Discord? Never. We've got Last Cyan as well. We've got Fab33. Hello, good to see you as well. And Rafcore 67. Oh, and Cube as well. We've also got Bobby from Yodo 1. We've got Frank as well. My buddy Brad Shannon saying, "What's up, you sexy northern piece of meat?" Good to see you, bud. And Spend 1403. And I said Rafcore. I said you. Don't worry. But yeah, good to see everyone. Franks, but even it was, I got to ask, what is TF Nation? It's basically a Transformers convention, basically. And it opened my eyes a bit. Like I said, I'll talk about it shortly. But yeah, it was really, really cool. But yeah, it's mostly like sort of geared towards toys, really. And in terms of like toy collecting, it was heaven. I could have spent so much money there, but didn't. While I'm on the subject, did buy this ready for this weekend. Got me a Trailbreaker. I thought it's relevant. It's I like keepsakes like this. A toy is going to remind me of it and buy it and keep it in the box. And I've got Trailbreaker for combiner boards already, so I don't think I needed a toy. But I thought, it's a reminder that I went and I can look back and go, it's pretty cool. So I thought I'd buy a Trailbreaker because, like I said, it's coincides this weekend. I thought it was very fitting. So yeah, got that. Brad Channing, they're not toys. Cyberdance, but I used to go to TF Nation every year until COVID. Sad, really. Would have met me in a team. That'd have been pretty good. Cool. What else? Manchester is red this season, Brad Channing reckons. Well, that's a conversation for another day, but maybe. I think they're looking good though, but I won't go that far. Cyberdance, but OG tracks here. Oh, I love it. It's funny because Tracks and this other person, Tracks, both sort of giving each other crap in the chat. I find it funny. I love stuff like that. I actually had a guy called Sunstreaker giving me crap because he was called Sunstreaker and I was called Sunstreaker 82. That was my IGN when I first started. And he used to give me crap saying, well, I'm the original Sunstreaker because I'm called Sunstreaker. You're Sunstreaker 82. You're the number 82. I was like, yeah, but I'm better than you. And that was the sort of the argument we always used to have because we were on obviously a higher team and we used to score more and I scored more than him. So that was the back and forth. It was quite funny. Yeah, obviously met Vic Ching last week. That was really cool. First person really I've met IRL. So we met in Manchester with Jake as well. Talked about the game, talked about United as well, even because obviously Jake loves his football. We sat there for good. I think it was good. Was it about an hour and a half? Big Ching, I think 2 hours maybe. I don't know, it was a while, but yeah, it was good chatting to him and just gave him a bit of advice on his game and stuff like that, and then just talked about himself and yeah, what brought him to the UK and stuff. And yeah, it was really cool meeting him. It was really good. And I'm up for meeting people. They're in Manchester and I'm free. It was quite hard to meet Vic actually. We're like passing ships. Tried meeting Oasis, didn't meet Oasis. Planned to meet again. So it was good to meet him finally after sort of promising because I felt like I was letting him down. So yeah, it was really good to see him. Yeah, it was cool. Frank's Podcasting, how big America is, surprising that's nothing is there dark. There are Transformers conventions in America. There's actually quite a few that happen throughout the year, so look out for them. So yeah. And bitching, yeah, but yeah, 1.5 hour exclusive interview. I did get a picture, I put it on my channel on the post obviously section that I obviously met him, which was pretty good. Yeah. But yeah. Let's get into news and then we can talk about other stuff. So Barwick Grana with Mini Bong. This weekend's event is called Dome Sweet Dome, as in Dome for Trailbreaker. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I'll give him that. I don't mind that name. That's pretty good. I'll give him that. This weekend's event is a Mayhem individual legacy event. It was supposed to be the endurance event, but the content isn't ready yet. So that'll be coming out, I think, next Saga, I think. But this is just a legacy event just to fill the gap because the content wasn't ready. So I kind of don't mind that they've done that because I'd rather than do that than rush the content and get it wrong. So at least we're getting something decent. So we've got a 4-star Trailbreaker for 36.5k, which is easily done free to play, guys, on Mayhem. We've got 5-star Trailbreaker for 70,000 points, which is viable with a bit of spending, I would say. If you're really, really efficient, you could probably do it with $10, $20. I think 10, I think I'd push. 20 definitely. But that's kind of running full teams rather than getting XP, which I prefer to get XP. So it's probably about $50 for me, I think. Then we've got 5,000 3-star shards, 2,500 4-star shards, 1,000 5-star shards, 7,500 prems, 250,000 spark, 250,000 combiner spark, some gold power cores, G-metal power cores, G1 G-metal power cores, bot G-metal power core, building G-metal power core, 100 total spark crystals, and 100 total shark crystals. There's a lot of rewards, but it is standard for these sort of types of events. Then obviously the total spark and total shard crystals are there. What we're getting in each. There is the rewards scattered throughout. And I had mentioned this It's not usual battle zones apply. It is mayhem mode, so ignore these battle zones. Game updates and information. So the team this week have gone to Gamescom. So we've got actually a busy week. And even when we were at TF Nation, the guys were still sort of talking in Discord. I was talking in Discord, and they were putting posts in and things like that. I think people don't realise that even when they're off work and doing stuff, they're still working. You know, it is a 9-to-5 job. I suppose you that they're working a 40-hour week. Maybe not on Discord moderating, but that's why they have moderators. Maybe, I don't know. But the point I'm making is they work long hours and work a lot. So they're all going to obviously Gamescom this week. And Dale said it was brilliant last year. So I don't know, maybe might go next year. Who knows? But yeah, so they might be a bit absent in Discord and stuff like that, but they're still working behind the scenes. There are some bug fixes, so Trailbreaker and Exhaust fixed an issue with the ability icon not appearing on their profile. Little fix. Change that icon to better reflect the ability itself and make it more clear, distinct from Hotspot's ability. That's a good point, because it was very close to Hotspot's, which didn't make much sense. And the ability visuals, making it easy to see through, because it was quite hard to see through at the time. Update the coloring to reflect the game's universal purple reflection indicator. And it works on buildings like Red Alert and Runlock does, which is interesting on defense. So he's a warrior, she's got some decent HP, and now he's got that shield that sort of protects defenses as well. So interesting. Ruination and God Neptune, the news we're waiting for. They've done an update to Record Assault, the Hollows, fixing an idling issue. We talked about last week where they're just hitting it. It was like, God, it was like hitting for 300 every 4 or 5 seconds. So it was like 60 DPS. It was stupid. So they have fixed that. All damage values for the Hollows have been fixed with the correct DPS output. That's cool. So they've said that Hollows can attack the HQ. This is a big debate behind the scenes. But they won't do any damage in elimination mode. Now, I know people were complaining about that, but I understand that they did set a precedent years ago that combiners won't do damage to HQs in elimination mode. Now, that was still the case, but the Hollows weren't combiners, and that was the argument. And I honestly do think that they knew it was happening, but they had bigger things to do than correct that. No, this time last year, they weren't sure if there's still going to be even a game. You know, as far as I'm concerned, the game might be closed unless they can move the game over to someone. And so they weren't willing to put a lot of effort into the game. And that's why last year I was very critical of the game for that reason. But since they've come over to the new studio, they've employed more people, which I can see that. And they've said, listen, stick with us. We are going to get through the initial process, which is just about done, I think. I'm moving over to Yodo 1. Then we're going to start on a load of content, and we're going to bring out some fresh stuff. Now, I can sort of see the fruits of that coming. I understand people are annoyed by the balance patch. I do. But it was needed. I understand people are annoyed by the bugs, but that's because of the old bugs that they've tried fixing. So I understand. I can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to fix the game up. They're trying to make it. I know people are saying, like, how dare you have nerfed this content that I'm using because I paid for this content. What about the other content you paid for that's not good? Is it okay to leave that rubbish? You know, they are making that decent as well. So all this content you paid for, not just the good stuff. Yeah, the good stuff is getting reduced, but the bad stuff is getting buffed as well. And the majority of the nerfs have been done. I think there's a few more, but I think it's more stuff that they've already buffed. I think Smokescreen, I think Rust Dust, I think Ratchet might get a bit nerfed. Other than that, maybe Smokescreen, maybe. But other than that, it's going to be all buffs for now, I think, really. If they buff anything a bit too much, like with these guys, they might reduce it down a bit. That's the way it goes. You're never going to get it right. They might buff some things, like a lot of the other stuff, and not got it quite enough and buffed it more. And that's going to be the sort of aim, is to get it all within balance to a reason. But I am enjoying the patch. I understand some people are not enjoying it, but I'm enjoying trying some new bots out. But I've even found that I can use Leo Prime, and I can use Ultimate Optimus, and I can use Blue Streak. And I've used them in Top Wars. So I have been using some of the stuff, and I understand people discontent. I do, guys. But all I'm saying is one thing, two things. If you're going to be critical of them, then be critique in a professional way. Maybe in a professional way, but I don't like name calling and people saying like, oh, they should be sacked, things like that. And people just going, can you revert it? It's rubbish. Leo needed a nerf. End of. He did. If you don't think he did, well, I don't understand. Like, you can't be a gamer. You can't understand gaming. Leo needed a nerf. Blue Streak didn't need a nerf, but he was crashing the game at low levels, so it needed to be fixed. Beachcomber was ridiculous. At times, he had a 97% damage reduction on him. That's stupid. It needed to be nerfed. So these things needed to happen. Ruination was overpowered. It did need to happen. Now, did they take it too far? Yes. I'm not for 1 minute defending the changes. I'm defending what they changed, but it did go a bit too far. But what I'm saying is give them a chance to correct it. Let them know what's wrong with it. Tell them you're not happy. That's fine. No one's going to censor you for being like that. Tell them you're not happy. Say, listen, I want this change. This is why I don't like Ruination. And a good example, what they love, honestly, and I do this all the time now, is say, I don't like it because this other thing does this. This can't do that. This should do this. And they can't really argue with that because there's something in the game that already balanced around that. So if you can use a certain bot for leveling, then you should use maybe use the lower melee for leveling. But then should we have a leveling bot for events and not squatting wars? I don't know. But the point I'm making is just be constructive with your criticism. Make sure you explain why you want it and compare it to something else. And just stop with the name calling. Like, I don't get it. Like, even at myself, like I said, I'll talk about it in a minute. But even at myself, I've had name calling. It's just like, it's ridiculous. Like, people saying like that I'm been paid by Space Ape or Yoda One to do this and no, this like, and Dale's censored us. Like, it's mad. Honestly, like, listen, Dale has never censored me once. He's never told me to take a video down. He's never told me to stop doing something. He's never told me I have to do something. He's asked me, can you do something? As in, like, I don't mean like twisting things either. I mean, like, he might have gone, oh, can you mention this in the stream tonight? It helped to promote it. I don't mean like a bundle or something. It might be where they've had a lot of complaints about something being broken or something and they fixed it and he's gone, oh, can you mention tonight that we fixed that issue? Yeah, fine. That's a good thing that I want to get out the information out there. Listen, guys, they've done this. They have fixed this. They've done this. Do you know what I mean? That is literally the only thing he's ever asked of me. That is it. It's usually me asking him for stuff, to be honest with you. And this is why that I can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to balance the game. It's never been balanced. I understand people are annoyed, but I can see what they're doing with it. That's why I'm willing to give them a chance and try and do what they're going to do. These things have not been nerfed or they're awful. I still use stuff at high level. I still have Beachcomber in my outpost. I still have Beachcomber in my war team. I'll use Leo Prime at times. I still use Blue Streak most times. I'll still use Optimus sometimes. I still use these guys, which says to me that they're kind of balanced where they need to be. Kind of there. Maybe Optimus isn't. I had a conversation with someone in Discord the other day. Maybe they got a point. But when I have a conversation with someone about it, and someone says, oh, this needs to change. And I go, why? Because it's crap. Well, why is it crap? It just is. I just roll my eyes. Like, and people go, oh, revert Leo Prime. What? Doing 20k damage and one-shotting defenses that are under 2 fire build-bot cores. And that person goes, well, just buff the fire cores. Alright, so what you're saying is that Leo Prime can work, but then no other bot in the game can work. Just so Leo Prime gets his day. I mean, come on. Let's be realistic with it. Let's be realistic with these nerfs and fixes. That's all I'm saying. But if you've got a point, you've got a point. And people, listen, I'm not on the side of the other ones and apes. I'm not on the side of the players, I'm honest with you. I'm literally on the side of what I think is right. If that suits what the players want, great. If that suits what the Yodels are doing, great. I'm literally on the side of what I think is right. And that's where I won't deviate from that. Because it's not fair to side with the players and be sided and go, well, you guys are wrong when I don't believe that. And it's not fair to side with the Yodos and go, well, the players are wrong if I don't believe that. I'm literally on the side of whatever I think is right. That's the way I've always been. And that's why a lot of my channel is negative and all that. And that's why now I'm saying I'm quite positive about this stuff. I'm quite positive where it's going. I'm not saying positive right now. I understand where it's at right now. I understand people are annoyed. 100,000,000%. And you've got a right to be annoyed. I understand that. But what I'm saying is that no one's perfect. They've messed up. Let's give them a chance to fix it. That's all I'm saying, guys. Yeah. But yeah, Hollows won't attack the HQ, I agree with. But we are still looking at ways to optimize and improve his ability. So, doesn't mean they're finished. General bug fixes, Inferno and Random Machine and Chronos granting 30% health to the team. Wow, didn't know that. MSN mines being double popped. So if you popped one and popped two, it meant that one cancelled the other out or something. So yeah. Sensor twins focusing, so that's a big problem with like wall humping and stuff. So I believe they might have fixed that. I'm not sure if it's live right now, but said they are fixing it. Rick Gow and Jump Keep can now revive multiple times in the battle. That was a bit weird. It does say on the tooltip you can only use once per battle, once per bot or something, which is a bit mad. If you want to waste your points, you control that by cost. So I think the cost is quite expensive. Is it 5+5 like Minerva or something? It's quite expensive. So that's the way you control people not using it multiple times. But if someone wants to use it multiple times, I get that they can, whether they should or not, no question. Me personally, I'm not a big believer in people using the same ability 3 times. If someone is using an ability like 3 or 4 times, then maybe you need to increase the cost. Hence why I talked about smoke screen. I use smoke screen about 20 times in battle right now, which is a bit OP. And it also works on targets with Forge of Solus Prime, so jump wasn't before, so that's rightly so, because you're getting revived with Forge of Solus Prime, and you're getting revived with Rickgar, so yeah, it should work like that. Then we fixed Grimlock and Razor Claw G1 not lifestealing, that's a good fix as well. They've changed Ruination round, 6-second damage reduction added to Godsting, but removed the 7-second from Tidal Wave, which increases overall ability uptime apparently. And increased the Tidal Wave cast range by 17% as well. Godsplitter got a slight damage increase, 15%. And then obviously we talked about the Wrecker's Assault, hence the Hollows, where they're doing a bit more damage and DPS. Also, where Trailbreaker ability is not being affected by FFD, this will be fixed by the end of the week before the event. Fixed Galvatron's transformation. Fixed Skylinks and Blitzwing not being able to target HQ. Yeah, they should, because it's an ability suppose, yeah. But don't forget there's ability damage reduction on the HQ anyway, so. And fix AI of rockets on Brawn, full tilt, bouncing, prioritizing defenses. Yeah, that wasn't the case. It was hitting 1 sometimes, 2 sometimes, resource buildings. That was a fix that Dale did, I think, and then it changed with the patch and went backwards and it was changed back again. And there's some broken in-game animations. I can't even talk tonight. Animations of Ratchet. I know that one. It's just like a walking around, like a straight robot healing still. So it was still working, but just looked a bit weird. And Sentis as well, I think, just sort of walking around, very, very weird. But yeah. Some bundles in the store. Not very good bundles this week, guys. I'm not gonna lie. The only bundles you'll be buying this week really is the bundles to level your bots, which is the sells coins bundles. Obviously, you've still got the bundle from last week, if that's available. It's a very, very good bundle. You can buy multiple of them as well. So it's a very, very good bundle. I think that might be still available in the store, maybe? I don't know. Maybe it's gone. It was a very good bundle to buy. And then obviously Saga schedule, end of the Saga. And it's for obviously the legacy bot. Then you've got your content creators, Freesia, Soldier, myself, and CF. Cool. So let's have a look. Let's have a look what the comments say. So Candyman's bot, does anyone care about elimination mode anymore? I haven't done it in about a year really. I've done elimination mode. I'm lying actually. No, I'm lying. I've done it sometimes for side pass when I've been struggling a bit and not played the game much. So I've gone and hit like 10 attacks. Not for any rewards, just to do that. So occasionally I've hit elimination, that's it. Stephen Gomez put, if Ruins Hollows can't damage the HQ, then why do they bypass other buildings to attack the HQ? Don't know. Mention it to the apes. Hopefully they can fix that. Grand Transport I care about for the side pass mostly. Blade 19's put a lot of effort into it, then had it changed in the matter of the day. Yeah, but to be fair, if you've watched my channel, I've been mentioning that he will get a nerf since January. I think it was. We knew it was coming. Bling blings, but bots come and go with meta. Binders are a different level. Kind of got a point. But I'll double down on that and say that there's more binders that are viable now. Because I've used Omega Supreme, I've used Computron and Volcanicus in the last few wars. All three of them. Not Ruination. So obviously Ruination needs to get to that point. But the other three, I think, are amazing, honestly. So, if anything, they're more viable. Spend 1 for all three. Let's put Rust is crazy now. Yeah, he's the new Leo Prime, so he will get nerfed. So, yeah. Blade 19, but I don't want the rest of it. Give me back what you nerfed. Yeah, about refunds, I'm on the fence with. I kind of get it. I think they maybe should give refunds to those that want it, I think. Especially Spark and ranks. I don't know how difficult it is about ranks. Apparently they can't do it though. I don't know. But yeah. Cyberdown, why nerf Hook and Ratchet? We'll talk about it shortly anyway. We'll see. Spend, yeah, leave Smokey alone. Yeah, he is crazy though, honestly. CJ's put is in their pocket and acts as a public liaison officer justified in turning the kit upside down and dozens of secret nerfs. This is what I mean by why am I in their pocket? I don't understand this. Like, what reason have I got to be in their pocket? They've never censored me. They've never said I've had to stop. Nothing like that. Nothing. Cicadas put combiners not doing damage elimination mode was from a flow control for Z and jump, which is true. When the players above 75 could buy ZN Alpha Shanix, but now they can't. That restriction is no longer needed. Yeah, he's right. Kind of, yeah. I think that restriction will come back at HU19 though. I think that's what they're thinking. So, yeah. Down answers put smoke should be 3+1. Only change he needs. Maybe. I thought 4+0 personally. I like that it's not. I think 3+1 might get a bit silly to count Billbots because you got 3, then 4, which is 7 ability points for 1, then 5, then 6, then it's 13. So it's a lot of ability points. I think 4, 8, it's sort of 16, then 4+4 still. I don't know. I think 4+0 is better me personally, but we'll see what they suggest. Bling bling, but I don't think being polite is the point. People raging over the nerf is valid. Yeah and no. Yeah, no, listen. I'm not saying be polite. Don't get me wrong. Alright, I'll tell you 2 instances. So, one instance is, Dale, this update is a joke. I can't level it in zone 15 anymore with Ruination. His Godsting needs his range increasing and the damage to Tidal Wave needs upping as well. Brilliant. Viable. Love that. Nothing wrong with it. Second instance, Dale, Ruination is crap and you're an idiot. Sort it out. Well, not going to happen. What's going to change there? Nothing. And that's the comments that annoy me. There's no critique there. There's no feedback there. It's just name calling. You're just going to get ignored. That's the point I'm making. Blade 19. I'm sick of swapping out cores and combats. Why do you need to swap out cores and combats? What reason? I don't understand why you need to swap out cores and combats. You just have to find a new war team. That's the hard bit, granted. But then Energon and Alloy is quite easy to get from events and from resource raiding. You know, you can easily just do 10 battles and get some decent rewards, enough to change them all over. So, which means you've got to play the game a bit more. So, it's your boy Souls, but why didn't they just spend a decent amount of time testing it? They spent 4 months testing it, to be fair. The problem if I'm being deadly transparent, was they brought it all out in and said, like, we test all this. And we were all tested it. So you can kind of blame the content creators a bit, and you can kind of blame the playtesters a bit. Because we were all testing it in zone 16, I think it was, and we're like, yeah, it seemed alright. And then they did War, and then we saw it in War. We saw the difference, and we're like, wow, he's melting. He's awful. But then kind of was like, well, we've already said the patch is coming this week. So they left the War to the last minute, and then, yeah. But You can blame Dale for that. You can blame me for that. You can blame the other content creators for that. Don't make mistakes, guys. It does happen. But we've kind of learnt a lesson there that when we're testing the next batch, we need to do wars early on to test this content. So, yeah, listen, hands up. We messed up. It does happen. Bling Bling put they could have rolled back the change to Ruination in a few hours. That's not the answer, though. He was overpowered. He was. But he did need tweaking down. He did, sadly. But not as much as he was. That's the point I'm making. That one's 3+ not. 50% execute is too much with a cost increase. It is too much with a cost increase. I don't know. Maybe. Let's wait and see. Brad Channing's put nerf Leo after I spent £100 leveling him. Ruined Ruin after I spent 20k 5-star shards chasing him. Got him to 24 and got killed. Yeah, viable point. But I think that's the idea, is that we don't want him killed. We want him at a decent level. And I agree with that. I do agree with that sentiment. I do. They shouldn't have. It shouldn't be awful. Nothing should be awful. Not Leo Prime. Not Ruination. Nothing in this game should be awful. I hate me personally, and you've seen it on my channel, pulling a bot and going, oh my god, I can't believe we've got that bot. Why have we got that bot? What we want to do is, I want that bot because it's combining a bot or suits it, but you know what? If I get any bot, I'm happy. That's, for me, that's the aim. I don't want this, oh, I can't believe I pulled that. That's going to sit at level 1. I did that with Dial. He sat at level 1. I want everything. And I've talked Dale saying combats need, especially minion combats, need a buff. I think scouts need a buff next as well. And some of the content is already buffed, needs buffing as well. And there wasn't many nerfs. I spoke to him about, Ratchet. I spoke to him about Sunstreaker. I spoke to him about Rust Dust. And spoke to him about Smokescreen. I don't think anyone else is overpowered, really. I think everyone else is well balanced. I think there's some really good bots out there, I really do. And I think there's about 40 things that need buffing by Christmas. And that's a good thing, that we're going to get more buffs now than nerfs. So, GK this bot, I haven't taken issue with the nerfs on the balance patch. I actually support that. I've taken issue with the lack of support for players after the fact there's been no increase in Spark. Well, they have increased War rewards, but I understand not everyone was. So, I don't know. I think Spark is a plenty. But I suppose we could have done a goodwill gesture, I suppose. But it's not their style, is it? Let's be honest. Brad Channing's put, Grindtime speaks freely. True. Did they give you a cover story for all the secret nerfs? There has been no secret nerfs. There has been none. We'll talk about it shortly. Freeze Max, good to see you, buddy. Go and check out his channel as always. And I think I saw Soul, yeah. Oh, yeah, I did mention Soul's test. Soul's comment. Go and check out his channel as well, guys. Obviously, CF as well. I think they're all in the chat, I think. Cicadas put, are increasing leveling research skips to enable players to replace nerf bots. 100% on side of that. I actually mentioned that at TF Nation. Well, yeah, I'll mention it now before I forget. We met a guy at TF Nation and he went, oh, let's have a look at your account. And it showed me his account. And every single bot was like, research needed, research needed, research needed. And I was like, Dale, look, that's what I'm talking about. Why are we doing that? Why are we letting people have so much research to prevent them playing the game? Why is that? So, I do hold them accountable. I'm not sat here going, everything they do is right. You can't expect players to invest large amounts of time and money into bots to easily replace them. Yeah, I half agree and half don't. Yeah, I kind of agree. But the aim of the game is not to level 8 bots and have 8 bots, the best bots in the game for the entirety of the game. And that's that. You should have a mixture of bots. It's kind of like Pokemon, and collect them all and level them all. And I know that takes an endless amount of money. And you are going to sort of pick certain bots and go, I want those. But I just think that if you've leveled 8 bots, I think that if you've chosen 8 bots and you've chosen Leo Prime, Beachcomber and Blue Streak and saw how powerful they were, and you thought that was you going to be set for the next 10 years of this game, if this game lasts 10 years, and you would never have to level another bot ever again, I think you've been very naive. Things do change in the game, metas do change, and you need to be able to level new bots. Being forced to level a new bot, granted that is a bit different, I suppose. And yeah, I do agree that there needs to be easier ways to level bots. I think leveling bots is quite easy, but it's been easier than other times. Let's be honest, it's been a lot easier than it used to be. But I think we do need to remove the barriers in place in terms of like research and things like that. definitely. Cicada are increasing leveling research skips no players to replace nerf bots. If they put on events, I'm all for that. That's a good idea. That's a great idea. Putting like skips into events. 100% on board with that. Bling Bling put games of this type will never be perfect as they continue to try and keep the game relevant. Yeah, agreed. They'll never be perfect, but I don't want, if it's talking like S, A, B, C, D, E tier, I don't want any D and E tier. I don't want any S tier. I want everything sort of A, B, and C. So you're not going to be disappointed by it. It's awful, but you can use it. Bling Bling, how long is long enough to fix things? I think Ruination's a priority. That needs fixing soon. Yeah, very soon. Bugs need fixing very soon. The bugs, which, to be fair though, things have turned around very quickly. There's a lot of bugs in the game that have been in the game for a long time. Now they're trying to sort of fix bugs in a week or two, and that's taking a lot of their time up. So, you know. Yeah, Dallas plus 5 plus 5 is not worth using it twice. What's the idea? You can use it twice, but it's expensive. So, yeah. Brad Chance, but Rust Dust, OP? Yeah. Go and try her out. That's what I mean. Traxxas put, Slushik was I have to disagree with the cost thing to allow, to only allow an ability for 3 times. Yeah, I know you do. We've talked about this before. You know, I disagree with what you're saying. You disagree with me. It's fine. If you have points and want to use it, then fine. That's the risk. Smoke screen and pipes excluded. Well, yeah, that's the point making though. Yeah, I kind of get where you're coming from with some expensive things, but you know, if you're using it 3 times, then maybe the cost is wrong. That's the point I make. But I kind of get the use. You're trying to say play how you want to, so I kind of get that. Brad Shannon always says she was great. Now she's a beast. She is, but she will get nerfed a bit, but not too much. I hope. I think the idea is to make Rust Dust like skids. So if you like skids right now and like his range and all that, I think that's the idea, is to make Rust Dust like skids. And you can use Rust Dust and skids together. What people are doing is people are using Rust Dust twice because it's just stupid and amazing range. So I would expect Rust Dust to become like skids. I would expect. Blade 19, Dale did admit to a Shadow Nerf. No, he didn't. No, he did not. That was a lie. CJ's put at least 20 people here are staff, and there's no one here that's staff. There's no one here. There's no one here from Yodo 1. No one. I think someone was in it earlier. I think, did I see Bobby in the chat? Maybe, I think. But there's no one here from Yodo 1. That is the wild conspiracy. That is wild that people... You think the Yodo 1s have literally made a load of names on YouTube and are now entering my chat to cover things up. Wow. Wow. Oh, wow. Candyman, when Flatline get ability 11, they were going to do it, but I think it wasn't tested, and we complained a bit that it wasn't tested, and then their decision was to take it away. So it is what it is. Block Boy, how's it going? Good to see you in the stream, bud. And Kylie's back out, but Freeze, you've been killing it with your videos recently. Yeah, it's good to see Freeze doing some videos again. I'm not going to lie. I think he got a bit lazy for a while. Nice work. Are you streaming tonight? Hopefully, I think he will be afterwards. It's put, yeah, straight on after Wazza, so yeah. No, it's good to see Freeze doing videos again. I like Freeze's videos. It was always good. And I actually told him that. I was like, come on, man, when are you going to start doing videos again? I actually stream every week. I either watch it after this or I watch it in the car in the morning when I'm going to work or wherever I'm going. So, yeah, go and watch Freeze's stream after this, guys. Down to put Roadbuster Hollow still walks off of hitting the HQ, so that's something else. Yeah, again, put it in the comments and yeah. CJ, too much time and money invested to have the carpet pulled from underneath in such a ruthless fashion. How can such a thoughtless action be? It's not thoughtless. It was announced in January. The content creators covered it. They said they're going to do some nerfs. We told you which ones are probably going to nerf. Then we told you which ones they were going to be nerfed. The people going like, well, I'm not going to follow content creators and read notes. I'm like, well, guys, you know, if you're not, then fair enough, but then don't complain. I had a similar thing to someone in my alliance. Something happened. I don't know what it was. Like, I think they fixed a bug or something. He started complaining. I was like, yeah, they said in the newsletter. He goes, I don't read the newsletter. I was like, and they put it in Discord. I don't read Discord, right? But I covered it in channel. Yeah, I don't watch YouTube. I'm like, well, guys. Brad Challenge Bot was a TFL. Met for only 6 days. Event ends. No longer relevant. TFPW ain't so bad when you compare. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Bling Bling Spot. Dale know the change is done, so he shouldn't need to tell him what to revert unless he doesn't know what he's screwed up. If that's the case, he or they shouldn't be developers. Dale's not a developer, actually. He's doing this out of the goodness of his heart to try and improve the game. And this is why I've got a lot of time for the game. He's actually trying his best to improve the game. And he's getting a lot of crap for this. I'll tell you this much. If Dale tomorrow said, I'm done with this, and quit the company, this game would die a horrible death a lot faster. We've got legacy events, thanks to Dale. We've got bug fixes galore, thanks to Dale. Community events, thanks to Dale. The Discord server, thanks to Dale. A lot of things Dale did is improved. He's improved a lot of things behind the scenes as well that he's passed on to the team. So yeah. Hellraiser's put, yeah, I'm good with fair criticism. Sometimes they can be hard truths, but berating someone isn't productive. That's exactly it. Fair truths, that's all I'm saying. Stephen Gomez, what about beacon combiners, melting our combiners and our entire squads? Yep, I have said that to him. I have passed it on. I agree. You're going to nerf combiners, nerf all of them. I don't think it's that. I think they're taking too much damage initially, which I passed on to him. The problem being is, though, is you can address that, but then if they start doing too much damage, then you might have to reduce their damage. It depends. I think they do melt too quickly, though. And I passed that on. Traxxas put, they waited a month to test Ruination in War for the PT and just dropped the ball. However, they were told from the start he was awful to the point Dale said he at his lowest. I don't know what you mean there, but yeah, listen, we were in PT. I wasn't as such, but I was talking there behind the scenes about it, and we were all testing it. So we've got to be slightly responsible ourselves, because no one in that play test stood there and went, "This is awful," and sort of kick a massive fuss up. They didn't. Well, I saw anyway. Grand Times put, yes, Dale knows the changes, but they aren't rolling them back. All back, yeah, agreed. Constructive pointing out what you think needs change. Best approach, exactly that. Darkland Scouts need a movement reduction. That's what I said as well. They run out ahead and get killed, so yeah. William Wilkinson, welcome to the stream as well. Carnage Market, alright, we'll talk about that shortly. And we're using 5-star Cyclonus on their war team soon. Maybe, hopefully. That's the idea. Try and get to all the comments, guys, before I sort of go on. Don't want to miss anything important, really. So yeah, Tactics, go and check out his channel as always. I personally think that if you have a long queue of research box, I can understand that if you don't have the resources for them, say Spark or anything required. Yeah, I think that's the problem, yeah. Blink Blink's put, interesting the change we've done before Fort Max event. People had to spend a lot to get him. I didn't bother for that reason. So they lost out on that. So Albert Einstein, nice name. Thanks for joining. I'm waiting for the new LGBT bot to be released. Is that actually even a thing? Protoss put with a section of bots like Smoke who are designed to be spammed. Maybe, but I think if it's spammy, it can't be as effective as he is. I think that's a problem. Darklands, I'm using Rustos and Skids on the same squad. You probably don't need it to be fair. Yeah, Grant has put your phone in. No one has been more critical developers than Wazza. Yeah. Yes, he did. He posted it himself. Who? What are we about? I don't know. Yeah, go check out Krotos vids, guys. Just some good war vids, like I said. Last Cyan, any idea when 5-star metrics be able to be with 5-star shards? Not too sure. New 5-star batches in test. Be a few weeks, I think. Blade 19, check the post I put in members only on your Discord. I'll have a quick look if I can. That's not Dale admitting it's a shadow nerf at all. He's asking, is that what you're talking about? Because there's been a lot of talks. So, yeah. Dude, do you know anything about the wall updates? I mentioned this at TF Nation. War's boring these days. They should come up with something new. 100% agree. 100%. Freezebanks, yeah, I was being leading videos. I was like joking, but cool. But yeah, let's go on. Cool. But yeah, TF Nation. So the day when first off, I went to the wrong hotel, obviously, and I believe it's a migrant hotel. So that was interesting. And they sort of advised me to go somewhere else. They were quite abrupt as well. But advised to go somewhere else. So it was about 4 miles away, the next hotel where it's supposed to go. Same company, but on the other side of the airport. It's either side of Birmingham Airport. So I've gone this side and the other airport's on the other side. So anyway, went and met Dale in the lobby. We got a taxi over to meet Callum, met Callum. And it was absolutely amazing in terms of amount of toys there and things like that. We met Simon Furman, got some things signed, so I think Dale's going to be doing some giveaways with some signed Simon Furman stuff, which is pretty cool. Convinced a Cal to buy some toys, so he bought pipes and Red Alert, I think, is open pipes, transformed him, and said he's keeping Red Alert in the box. So I've maybe converted Cal into collecting Transformers toys, I think, or figures. Sorry, Brad Channing, figures. Met 2 cosplayers that do some content, but not around Transformers or anything like that. They were just there to promote the PUBG mobile game that has got Transformers skins. Played the PUBG mobile game. Was disappointed with the PUBG mobile game. I was playing it. It's a bit like Fortnite. I was running around. I was like, how do you transform? And it's like, oh, you've got to go and find the transformation. What? Yeah, you gotta go and find it. And I was like, where is it? It's like, you gotta find it on the map. The map is huge. I was just running around aimlessly. Didn't know where the fighting was. Didn't know what was going on. Felt such a noob. It took me out of this battle. He goes, I can get you in another battle that's a bit more quick-paced. Went in, 1 minute, dead. I was like, yeah, I'm not feeling this game at all. And then sort of like, we're like, it feels a bit clunky. And he's like, yeah, it's a PC game that's been brought over to mobile. And we're like, So yeah, I was talking to some people that are promoting that game that they'd employed, and they're cosplay artists on TikTok. I'd love to give them a plug, but I can't remember the names on my phone, sadly. We've talked to them for a good, about half an hour or so about content and creating content and memberships and how they do it and how I do it, and it was pretty cool to meet someone similar, as a similar interest. We had something to eat briefly in the sort of cafeteria area. Then I met one of the developers behind the scenes, Sam. It was pretty cool to meet him. Told him my thoughts on Ruination. He told me why it couldn't do what I wanted to do. I told him it had to do what I wanted to do. And it was an interesting back and forth. And he said, no, what's the compromise? And we sort of talked a bit. And we talked about whether we should be able to level in Zone 17 or not. Is it feasible leveling one bot in Zone 17 with a combiner? Maybe. And I was like, well, if not, I still need to get the same amount of spark and the same amount of points that I can now in Mayhem mode in Zone 16, and you need to balance the zones. Maybe that's the answer. Maybe the answer is getting Ruination to battle in Zone 17 again. Who knows? Who knows what the answer is? But I said, for me personally, I need to use Ruination in events. Have to. It's how I level. It's how I get my XP. I have to be able to use him like that. I'm not happy any other way. If I can't use him in wars as much, I kind of get I've got other combiners. That might be the answer. It's not the answer that people are looking for. But that's sort of conversation. He was there for about half an hour, 40 minutes, and had to catch his train because he was going on the Monday. So then Sam went and got off. We had another circle of the main centre where they're selling the toys. Dale got some more Simon Furman stuff. We got quite a lot of stuff to give away, guys. Quite a bit of stuff. And I did say to him that you're gonna keep all this. He's like, no. I'll literally just do a giveaway. So kudos to Dale for that. And then we went back into the main area. And then Callum was like, I've got an idea for the game, but it's very early stages yet. And so I started going around asking people their opinion on it. And we sort of asked them, do you play the game? Have you played the game? Have you heard of the game? What do you think of this? How do you think it should work? And I said, I can't sort of comment really on what that is. But it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to the game. Even I'm wondering how it's going to work. But some good ideas there that I didn't think about. And that's what the good thing about speaking to people that are low level in the game or people that haven't played the game. It was good sort of seeing some like, totally clean ideas. Some ideas were awful, I'm not going to lie. But some of them are good. And we sort of decided that there's a lot of Transformers fans there, but maybe not a lot of gaming fans. I think that most of us here are gaming fans first, and we like Transformers, rather than Transformers fans that like to game. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about that. But we had a good chat, like I said, and then me and Dale went for some food. So I went to, Dale said he'd buy me some tea, obviously coming, or some dinner, the American, whatever you call it. So we went to TGI Fridays. They had no steak, no chicken, no ciabattas, and no Coke, I think it was. So I was like, I'm not eating here. So then we went to Nando's. Dale has never been to a Nando's. I was like, I can't believe that. I can't believe you've never been to a Nando's. Did you have Nando's in America? I don't know. It's the best chicken ever. I was shocked. I was like, I can't believe you've never been to Nando's. So we went to Nando's. Dale paid, obviously. And then literally got in the car and drove home. And I left the house at like about 7 in the morning. Got there for about 9:30, 9:45. And then I left at about 7 at night and got home at 9. So I was in TF Nation from about 10:30 till about 4. So I got like 6 hours something. But would I go again? I don't know. I'd go again. They didn't have a stand this time. I said, they're like, can you get a stand? It's like, I'm trying. I've even messaged Hasbro, but the people that do the convention are not getting back to me. The people that obviously organise it. So I can't get a stand, basically. Which was a shame, because there was probably room to have a stand. But then, I think next year, if they've got a stand and I've got somewhere I can charge my phone, then I can probably play the game, I can probably show people the game and advertise the game and things like that. But we were talking to the PUBG mobile game guys, and they said that while they were there, they had 50 downloads all day. That's not a lot, 50 downloads. People just downloading the game, 50. There's probably about 500 people there, I reckon. So 500 people is not a lot, 50 downloads is not a lot, 10%. So I think I'll have to go somewhere else personally. I'll talk to Dale about it. If I can help promote the game anywhere and go with them, then I'm fine doing that. And as he sort of self-admits that they do know the game, but obviously I know how to play the game 10 times better than they ever will. The intricate details, stuff like that, and the shortcuts and the best way to do things and stuff like that. Hence why they don't really stream anymore, because they self-admit that I do it better. Yeah, hopefully they can do something that can help them promote the game, and that's the idea. Something to do with obviously Transformers convention or some kind, or a gaming convention of some kind. Hence why I think they've gone to Gamescom. So yeah, it was a good day. But I think I said to Dale that if I would have gone on my own, I don't think it would have been really that good a day. But it's good to meet the guys, good to talk to the guys. It was great meeting Sam as well. So I talked to Callum and Dale a fair bit, but I never really talked to Sam. So it was good to talk to Sam. And yeah, it was a really cool day. I'm honest, it was yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah. Grant has put either Transformers fan playing the game. Cyberdan, Transformers fan first. Fair enough. Grant has never heard of Nando's. Trax, does he mean Raising Canes? No, but I have heard of that though. Never been though. I've never been Raising Canes. It's new over here, Raising Canes. Michael Nicholson, thanks for being a member. Has put, we have Nando's here in Washington. Oh, cool, good to know. But see, actually put, no, we don't have it in the States. So we must have somewhere. Blade 19, Transformers fan first. Hellraiser, Wotherfest 2026. Yeah, Grant has put, they need to get a booth and get a bunch of us there together to promote the game. Yeah, I just don't think that's the right audience for it, I don't think. Maybe Dale needs to fly us all to America. Or I say me, all of us, you know what I mean, boys. I saw a full Facebook post saying Bumblebee wasn't in Transformers the movie. Had a rewatch and he's in there on Second Moon with Spike. Yeah, of course he is. Yeah. Hellraiser, US tour, catch the World Cup. The World Cup's in. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, interesting. Cyberdance put SpaceX did have a stand for this the year it came out. I was at the event, and it's how I found out about the game. Interesting. Good to know. I'll tell them that. Interesting. Marco Nexus put they need to see if they can link up with Hasbro at 10 Transformers event and offer a bot Hasbro is revealing. Interesting. True. That's a good point. That's a lot of planning for them, isn't it? That's a bit too much, maybe. Grand time, come over and I'll host. So we're all staying at yours, yeah? If they download the game. Yeah, I downloaded PUBG, but not touched it ever since then. So, you know, then the point of it is downloading the game and getting them to play it. So, yeah, cool. Cool, right. Okay, I need to go back to here for this, actually. Okay. So, I know it's not the usual place where I do these things, but we're doing something a bit different today. So, I've thought about this for a while and decided against it for quite a while. And for those eagle-eyed, they'll know that something was going on behind the scenes. So, you probably noticed, or maybe you've not, I don't know, but some people hit me up saying, I've noticed this. So, every week when I do the newsletter and I read the content creators out, for a long time now, I think a good 2 months maybe, I've never mentioned Val in the content creators section. I always mention everyone else, but I always skip Val. And some people message me going like, why do you do that? And I've kind of ignored it a bit and thought, I'm not going to cause any drama, I'm not going to stir it up, I'm just going to leave it as it is. But obviously there's been some drama behind the scenes. And like I said, drama happens. I've had drama against another content creator who told me that I needed to take any affiliation with his channel off my keywords. And I was like, it's just keywords. Put mine and yours, it'll help your channel. And he's like, no. It's a long time ago. It's none of the current content creators. And I was like, I will, but I don't see why you're kicking off about this. And literally, I was going to get the guy on my channel at the time and just said, right, well, after this, you're not going to be on my channel. I'm sorry, but you're just being stupid, basically. But other than that, I mean, we've had Grind Time, who we've become good friends with, who's been on my channel. We've had Tex, who I was good friends with, who's been on my channel. I've had Freeze on my channel on the Unpopular Opinions. I've had Hoist on my channel. I did a sort of interview with him. I think it was the first one that I did. I've had the Arrow DJ Ha, if you remember, at FPS Gaming on my channel. I've had Trios Theory on my channel. And although I've not had CF on my channel, I had given him props here and there and said, go and check out his content. And I have said, go and check out, he did, I would love to say exactly what it was, but he did a sort of, he did a change to all the cryo things and all the build bot was changing. And it was really, really informative. And I said, go and check that out. I always say how polished Soul's videos are, and it's true. It is very, very polished, very, very clean. I don't know how he does it. I would love to be able to do it. I would love to be able to spend the time that he does on his videos. But that is what it is. But all the content creators have got their niche. They've all got their thing. But generally, we all get on. Me and Freeze have had disagreements where we don't agree on things. But as you've seen in the chat today, we do have a bit of a laugh together. We do talk outside of it and things like that. And I do like the guy, hence why I've had him on my channel. So we all generally get on, which is quite fine. And even when sort of Val and CF were sort of coming through, I'd always say, like, you know, go and check out their channel, guys. They're pretty cool. Freeze definitely would. Freeze was a massive advocate for all the content creators that were unofficial ones. And I feel maybe more so for Freeze and all this, to be honest with you. But, again, let's get to the point. So, obviously, a few months back, Val and CF were added to the content creators official list. And brilliant, great. The more content creators we have, the better. Amazing. And then Val had been in there a couple of days. And I think it's important that I quote this sort of, maybe not word for word, I'm paraphrasing, but I'm not misleading people. And I think that's the key word here, is that I'm talking honestly and I'm spitting absolute facts. So he put something in the chat and he basically said that, you know, as content creators, we are too negative about the game. We're not positive enough and we should be promoting each other. And to quote him, he said, What we need to be doing is, if something's not how we like it, we need to say such things as, the current version has issues, X and Y needs adjustments, trust the devs to do the right job. Like I said, it's paraphrasing, but that is pretty much word for word. And I'm going to show you my response. And you might not agree with this, but I'm going to show you my response. Let me just do this a minute. So 1 second, guys. So this is my response. So I put, if the bot is trash, that's what I'm going to call it. People appreciate my honesty. I'm not going to lie or bend the truth for the sake of it. Up to you how you do your channel, but I'll do mine how I see it. If we say everybody's half decent, then the Yodels will carry on regardless, not that anyone other than Dale and Cal watch our streams or even appreciate our feedback. You're in the luxurious position of being in playtest where you can say this needs X and Y, that's the place for that. Me, I'm not in that position anymore, so I'd rather call a spade a spade. If they want me to be positive about content, it needs to be either innovative, even if they fail, kudos for thinking outside the box, I've always said that. Or better than previous content we can compare to. If it's both these things, I'll gladly shout from the rooftops about it. Sadly though, it really is. It's very easy to speak saying I trust the bots to do a good job, I meant the Yodos, but when they don't and haven't done for the past 5 years of me being a content creator and playtest, it's hard to say that unless they're through gritted teeth. Again, I'm going to call a spade a spade. So I've basically said there, listen, I am going to be honest. You know, I am not going to lie. Listen, you guys want the honesty. That's what I'm going to do. And then Val said to me that I was being unprofessional at times, or suggested that, but he did say, I think there's a level of professionalism difference between criticism and insults. So, I don't think I've been insulting to them, personally. Maybe a bit passionate, maybe, but maybe not insulting anyway. And then, there's so much to go through here, guys, that I'm actually even trying to think like which one to go next. So, fast forward then, that, let's see which one it is in a minute, let me try and find it. So then, fast forward to Val doing a spreadsheet rating video, and there's a lot of controversy because I put Wingsaber quite low and he put it in S tier. And there was a bit of comments back and forth in the chat saying I had no clue what I was talking about. I think part of it was me being down in a lower level alliance, hence why I chose to go back up again for the sake of my channel and just for a bit of pride, I'm honest with you. But I think another reason was that I didn't have the bot. I had it on playtest, so all I'm going off is what playtest shows because I didn't have the bot. In playtest, it was working as it should, doing X amount of numbers. And then Val's, on his video, was doing more than that. And I was like, well, it's doing more than it should. How can I rate it S tier if it's going to get fixed? It's not a nerf to do more than it should. So before we start on that, how can I say this is S tier and mislead people when it's not? Maybe right now it is, but I had a good idea it's going to get fixed. It's being talked about. And people were like, no, it's supposed to do that. I was like, it's not. Look at the numbers. It's not. That's a bit back and forth, which I know what, I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that. You know, I'm fine with my opinion and I'm valid my opinion. He's valid his. I have no problem with that. But then someone who watches my channel, I won't call him out, has said, oh, it's interesting that you've said he's S tier and wasn't said he isn't. And it's put, we absolutely disagree on a lot of things. He has his ways, and if you disagree, you're wrong. Basically, my opinion is what matters, and that's it. I'm more on the side of what actually works, regardless of what I like or not, and try to always be as unbiased as I can, remove any and all opinions out of the equation. But you understand that tier lists are opinion. It's exactly what they are. I wouldn't rate it exactly the same as everyone else. If that was the case, it's kind of an official tier list that they've created. It's our tier list that we make, not them. So, don't know what the point there is. If a bot is nuking PLHM bases, primarily hard mode bases, it's logical to call them anything less than meta. Yeah, kind of agree, unless it's bugged and not doing it as it should. You're kind of misleading people. But maybe he didn't know that. We'll give the benefit of the doubt. Maybe. But then he went on to say that, and I quote, "I never call out content creators." But he literally has there in his chat. So he's saying he'd never call out content creators, and he's saying there, basically he is. He's saying that, if I think you're wrong, then that's it. Your opinion doesn't matter. But you do understand that if I have an opinion on something, and you have an opinion on something, I'm going to stick to my opinion, you're going to stick to yours. Now, I'll try and convince you of mine, you try and convince me of yours. Now, if you can convince me, then fair enough. And we're like, okay, yeah, fair enough, actually. No, there's been a few times where someone's done something where I've gone, you know what, it actually happened the other day in the chat with Freed. I won't say what it was, but we'll talk about something. And I was saying one thing, he was saying something different. I was like, well, maybe you've got a point. And actually, he was right. So it does happen, but again, you've got to have a good argument and point. And then next up we see, I'm trying to sort of get this in order, guys. It's quite a lot. Let me just get this next one here. So he said to me, he said there that if you disagree with me, you're wrong, and I can't listen to opinions. And then literally someone's put, these ratings are too generous. Well, it's in the same video, by the way. You're being too nice on bots, so your ratings aren't as accurate as they could be. Like Firefly and Meta, I'm not just saying this. I kind of thought that there was a lot of bots in S tier. I was like, I don't think they're all S tier. I would move most of them down one. S tier into A tier. But again, it's his tier list. He could do what he wants. So, fair enough. What are you talking about? Our Skydive is no way meta-ish. Meanwhile, Swoop is lower than both of these, even though it's one of the top outpost bots across the league, which he was at the time. And Val has put, what I'm talking about is elaborated in the video itself. Firefly is a strong one-shotter, can take out everything except MDS in one shot, can be paired. Skydive Max does X amount. As for Swoop, gain like stated in the video and the title of the list, it is a fence-only list for outposts. I do have a separate list, which is fair enough. So my point being is that, you sort of disagree with him, which I've no problem with that. But my problem being is they said that if I have an opinion and you disagree with it, you're wrong. I'm going to argue with you. And then he goes on to argue about it as well. But maybe that's a one-off. But then we look at this one. Magic, who I know, who's in G1. Let's put, let me just put my camera above a minute. There we go. Let's put Sling Meta is counted by 2 types of build bots, fire and acid. There's loads of fire, anti-fire, and always one anti-acid. Wingsaber Meta, who told you that? And then that was just gone on to sort of argue the case with Magic. And again, I don't blame him for arguing, but the point I'm being is that he said to me that I don't listen to reason, basically. I'm argumentative. But then he's saying that he's there arguing with someone. How can you say to someone that was as argumentative and doesn't listen to reason if you're going to do yourself again? I don't understand that. You're going to call someone out for the same thing. So that kind of annoyed me a bit. But again, even at that point, I'm kind of like, do you know what? It is what it is. I sort of addressed it with him, and he sort of like disagreed. I was like, right, okay, fine. And that was that. But he also then went into playtest, I think it was, and said that people are adding fuel to the fire. And I'm going to show you something here which is very interesting. So, backtrack a bit. What happened was Dale made a fix to CL and Ozu in which the shield only targeted one bot. Now, when these changes were made last October, I think it was when CL came out, last October, November, when it came out, Val was in that chat balancing CL and Ozu. He was in that chat. And the general consensus was that Rung and CL were too much alike. Now, granted, one of the apes, Yodos, said that they were thinking of changing it to be AoE. But Dale's gone back and looked at his actual notes on what is decided and his notes for how the bot should perform, and it does say single target. Now, we can't see the notes, it's private, so maybe we've got to take Dale's word for it. But the point I'm making is that in this chat was CL, was Val. And you can see that I try and cropped it all out. So Val's has put, I agree about a different kind of healing gun, similar to Kunai. We got 2 that fortify your defense and 1 improving offense. 1 more improved offense is further better. That's fine. It's a valid thing here. But just below that, you see this is October last year, October 24. I think CL is too similar to Rung. It's not a good idea for the game to release content like this. It's basically saying we have no new ideas. My idea, CL changes our gunner to a healer, where the gunner will heal allies with a ray. It's just an idea. I won't say who that was. It was just an idea. But the point I'm making is that Val was in the chat when they decided, or were deciding, that CL and Rung were exactly the same. And Rung has always said that it heals a target. So Val was aware of that. So let's just pretend that he's forgot about this. Let's just say that he's forgot this conversation ever existed. Fast forward, he does a video saying that the team have shadow nerfed stuff. Now, I can honestly say that nothing was shadow nerfed. Maybe some things were done and was not in the news, in the notes, because the notes were that extensive, and even some of the other things we said, listen, that's not in there, Dale. And it's like, oh yeah, I'll put that in. There was some things that got missed. Now, if the argument is that the CL notes didn't go in the patch notes, fair enough. Kind of got his point a bit. But his argument was that it was a shadow nerf. Now, for me, the word shadow nerf means quite deceitful, underhanded, that they've nerfed it on purpose and not told anyone. Did they change it on purpose? Yeah, I believe so. Was it shadow nerf? No, because it was supposed to act like that. Now, some people believe that it wasn't supposed to act like that, but you can see there that the notes do say, he does say that it was supposed to heal one. It was supposed to shield one target. It literally says that in the chat, so that is probably the case. So then, Val then said that the reflection doesn't stack, and so it's another nerf. And then Dale came out and said it does stack. And Val said, no, it's in your notes that it doesn't stack. Oh, sorry a minute. And this is what he was talking about. So in his video, he said, look, it says here, shields unlimited, future update changes highlighted, 2 stacks of shields. And he's right in that sense. But the key word here is future update. This has not changed yet. This is in the future. This is what they're looking to change in the future. This is how the game works right now. With shields unlimited and glass unlimited. The future update, they don't think that glass cast should stack. I kind of agree. And they don't think shields should stack. I don't know about that. I think they should. But that's the future change they're thinking about doing it. This is not in the game at all. And this was in the notes. And my big problem is that rather than, if you're going to do a video like that, rather than going to the team and saying, listen, I think about doing a video on this. Can you just clear something up for me? Is this the case? Let them answer it and then go to your video. I'm fine. But it was never a shadow nerf. And so then Val came out and said it was being censored, I believe. No one censored him. No one told him to take the video down. Dale said that it was wrong. But Dale also did that to me. So if you remember a while back, I did a test where I used Sunstreaker on a resource builder. I was talking about Reflect. And I was talking to Dale about it. And he asked Yanis. And Yanis said, was this wrong? And I can't remember exactly what it was. But Yanis then said, that I was wrong and explained it to me in detail. I was like, right, okay, I get that then. So what I did was, the next video I did, or the next stream that I did, I said, listen guys, I did a video on reflection. It's wrong. It's not the case. And I publicly said that, listen, I'm wrong. Sorry guys, I got it wrong. And Dale did a post before that just saying, listen, was not right. That's not how it works. I was like, right, fine. I've got it wrong. Things happen. But even in all this, I feel like Val could have easily gone, I got it wrong. But instead, what he did was he said that he's being censored, that Dale was saying he was wrong and all this and making him a scapegoat and calling him names and all this, and that he was going to quit content creating because of it. But it was his choice. And literally in the content creators chat, he didn't get much support. And I don't want to start calling out other content creators, but he didn't get much support, let's just say that much. And I was quite riled by it, honestly, because he's already adding fuel to the fire. He's already said that, to me, that I shouldn't be negative about content. I should try and spin it and be positive. But then he's gone and done that himself. It took something which is a bug change, whether you like that or not, whether you agree or not, it's a bug change. That's what it was. And they told us it was a change they were doing, and it linked to how the content was originally. Valve took all that and then said that he's being victimized, which he wasn't. He just told it was wrong and that they didn't appreciate it because it does say Shadow Nerf. If that had gone CL Nerf, that would have been a bit of a problem. It's fine. But the word shadow sort of implies deceitfulness, and the team never did that on purpose to be deceitful. And again, I've never really talked about anything on this. I've never really talked about, behind the scenes, content creators having disagreements. But then he's also then sort of invigorated people to start downvoting my videos, downvoting Freeze's videos. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. Freezius was probably his biggest advocate, biggest person promoting him. We're supposed to promote each other, and we are supposed to advertise each other and sort of perk each other up. We're all in the same sort of business. We're all in it together. We're supposed to be doing that. And so for him to then also invigorate people to downvote other people's videos, maybe he meant it, maybe he didn't. I don't know. But I just find that really, really poor. And we've been getting a lot of attacks recently saying that we're lapdogs for Dale and stuff like that, and that we're paid by Yodo to do this, and they're telling us not to do it. Listen, I've never been censored in my life on this channel. I won't be. If that gets to that point, I will literally quit and tell you guys I've been censored. I've never been told not to do something. Like I said earlier, never. I'm literally on the voice of reason, and the reason I am standing by is that I can see where the team wants to go. And I believe where they want to go is a good vision eventually. It's going to be a hard road to be there. Imagine climbing up a rocky mountain. I'm thinking when we get to the top, it's going to be amazing. But right now, we're climbing over sharp edges. Rocks are falling. It's difficult. That's the analogy I'm using. But we'll get there eventually. We will. And that's what I can see. At the minute, all people can see is the rocks falling, the sharp edges, and they're not happy. And they're a bit worried. And I get that. But I'm saying that there is light at the end of the tunnel. That's the point I'm making. And I'm not here trying to spin things, because if I'm negative about something, I'm negative about it. End of. If I don't feel like something is decent. You might even see that in future videos or later on. But we've got to give them a chance. I've always said that. Give people a chance. That's sort of my motto, really. It depends on, for me, what their intention is. If their intentions are good and they mess up, then you know what? I've got your back. Fair enough. But I just feel like Val took the wrong approach on this. He's alienated every other content creator. He's alienated the devs and Dale and sort of accused them being deceitful. After himself saying that we need to be more positive and twisting things. After saying that he doesn't call content creators out and then calling content creators out. After saying that I'm argumentative and don't agree with anyone if they have a different opinion. He's doing the same himself. Basically, the guy's a liar. The guy is blatantly a liar, and that is basically the thumbnail. The guy's a liar. I don't like liars. I don't like snakes. I don't like people that are underhanded and deceitful. You can blame a language barrier, but I think his English is brilliant, if I'm honest with you. So, this is why I'm not happy about it. And like I said, I don't want to, and I'm on a soapbox. I get that. But, he's done this video sort of saying that, he's the victim in all this. But he's not. He was the aggressor in all this. He was the aggressor, calling out people publicly, not just in private and private messaging them, which is bad enough maybe, but publicly calling out other creators, publicly getting people to downvote videos and things like that, maybe. No evidence of that as such. But also contradicting people when he had the evidence there himself and not going finding the truth. He's just basically done a negative video for views, and when he's got the backlash from everyone else, then he's decided to cry the victim and say, I'm going to quit content creating. You know what? Fine. Fine. He's even then said he's going to carry on doing content, and then said he's going to do Batman content. I don't know. I just don't trust the guy. I know a lot of other people don't trust him either. So it is sad to see a content creator go, but I'm not really bothered that he's gone. I'm quite happy he's gone, to be honest with you. I don't really like the guy. So make it as you will. I'm sure Val will do a video how I'm wrong or something, but I've got the screenshots. Now I haven't posted his comments because even with all this, I don't think it's right that I'm going to post his screenshots or freezes. If he wants to go to that level, I will gladly do that. I'll ask Dale and post the whole chat. I don't think Dale will let me, but I'll post the whole chat. Hell, I might even do it and get a ticket off from Dale. If that's the scale he wants to go to, I'll gladly show it on my shots because I have a way where I'm like, I believe in something and I will go to the ends and stick with that. That's my beliefs. That's my beliefs. That's how I want to stay. That's my, go-to. And I'll stick by that. And if someone says, did you say this? I'm like, yeah, I did say that. Because I stand by that. Because that's how I feel about it. Whether that's Dale, whether that's work, whether that's my wife, my kids. I stand by that and go, yeah. Because you don't want to get to a point where someone one day says to you, did you say this? And you go, no. And they go, well, I've got proof that you did. What are you saying about that? Now you're a liar as well. I'd rather be honest. Maybe a bit of a dick. I know I swore, I know. Yeah, I'd rather be that than be a liar. And people can't trust what you're saying. So, it's up to you who you believe. But literally, I've shown you the screenshots there, and I can literally share more if need be. I've got the screenshot to prove, to back me up. Val hasn't got that. Val hasn't got the screenshots. Val's got the screenshots of him being wrong, and that's why he won't share them. But we'll see where this goes. But hopefully it's done with the drama, and hopefully we can concentrate on the balance patch, and not all this behind the scenes drama between the content creators. So yeah, let me know what you think about all this. Obviously not good for the game, but let me know your thoughts, guys. So yeah, my day. So let's have a look. I thought you were Dale's mouthpiece. That's what people are saying. What was that? Mark Nichols support, and yet in Val's latest video, he was calling the development team out because of the patch, and they were wrong for doing it. So I'm going to tell you guys something. So behind the scenes, most of the content creators and a few other people were in a chat, and they would come in there every so often and go, "What do you guys think of this?" So there was other people helping him balance stuff. There was the playtesters balancing stuff as well. But when the playtesters were like that, maybe then sort of hit us with some stuff as well. And we sort of try and balance it between us all. We were sort of like the voice of reason when he wasn't sure and stuff like that. Like a second opinion in effect. And Val was in on that. Val was part of the balancing. Val helped with the balancing of this patch. Granted, for a bit of it, he did take a break. But if you care about this game so much, and you know they're doing such a big balance patch. Now listen, I was honest with Dale. I didn't want to be in playtest. I don't want to be in playtest at all. I've no desire to be in playtest. But sometimes I think that if I can help something be better in the game, then I need to. Just for the sake of you guys and the game. And that's not me feeding you full of BS to like me. That's the God's honest truth, and I'll always be that way. I've always been completely honest. I don't want to be in playtest, but when Dale said to me, listen, I need some voices of reason, will you help out with this balancing? The answer is yes. It always is, yes. It always is. But I did say to him that after that is done, I'm done. And generally I am. Once this balance patch is sort of done, I'm done with playtest. I'm done with new bots. I don't want to know. That's it. Next balance patch, we'll see. Maybe not. Maybe so. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I have no desire to be in playtest at all. Whereas Val was active in playtest. And as a content creator, normally you're in there. And then chose not to be at the vital point of when they're doing the playtesting balance. The vital point. And then came back in at the end again. And then criticised them for the changes that he knew was happening. Most of them anyway. Michael Nicholson's put, this is true. I watched the video. It is. It's there to see. This is mostly it's public. It's either in the screenshots there or it's public. It's there to go and read the comments. That's all you need to do. Calvin's put Transformers Entertainer Wars. Late 90s, but if you change something, it doesn't matter who knew behind the scenes. It's not public information. For me, it's a shadow nerf. It's not because it should have been that way. I kind of get it's not. You understand the word shadow is deceitful. What was deceitful about it? It was meant to be that way. If Sunstreaker started doing 5k damage today, half his damage, and they changed it to 10k but didn't tell us, is that a shadow buff? Or is that just them fixing it? Granted, it was quite a while. It was a good 6 months or so since it was broken. Fair enough. Again, I've always said for all this, if your argument is it should have been fixed quicker, 100% on your side. 100% agree. And you know what? Dale's doing that. He's fixing stuff quickly. It's getting fixed. So what are we mad at? We're just mad because we're saying, this thing I had should be that forever. I should have 8 bots and it should be powerful forever. Not going to happen, guys, sadly. Yeah, even downvoting CF's video as well. It's ridiculous. Grandson's put, in case the Odos are watching, I can be bought. I'm cheap, hit me up. I'll start streaming again. I'll say whatever you want baby to say. I'd pay to see that. Goody Fox has put there are lots of bugs in the game, sorry, but they are getting them fixed as fast as they can. It takes a while. Exactly that. Jason Rowley put Freeze's had a heel turn. What do you mean by heel turn? What do you mean by that? King Grimlock's put it's one thing to talk about the brand. Bashing content creators is a bridge too far. Exactly. Content creators and playtests are not paid. Yeah, exactly. See how tactics you're a wanker. Last Lion's put I've had disagreements with people in my line group, but at the end of the day, we're all players and I respect their views, even if I don't agree with them. Yeah, exactly. You know what? I do like a good debate. I do. You know, Freeze likes Vector. I think he's trash. I would love for Freeze to convince me. He has tried, but it ain't going to happen, I don't think. I just don't like the health and hollows. But, you know, I will argue with Freeze till the cows come home on why he's crap. And I'm sure he would argue with me why he's good. I don't dislike the guy. I don't disrespect the guy. And I'm not going to go out there and go, he doesn't know what he's talking about because he does good war scores. So who am I to say that he's rubbish at the game if he uses him a certain way? How will I use it? Maybe not. We'll talk about this as well, about him being quite tactical and quite, you know, reducing damage. And I'm just like, go at him. Get rid of it. Destroy it. So different approaches, but they both work. But I'm not going to publicly criticize the guy. I mean, I'll publicly say I disagree with him. That's fine. But I'm not going to publicly say that he's an idiot or something. Because don't agree with me unless you are an idiot and you say that Leo should do 20k damage. Then maybe you are a bit of an idiot. Not freezing me, but you know what I mean. Michael Nickens sport, and I'm in the same family as him. Listen, if you're in the same family as him, go and check the chats. You'll see more than me, and then go make your own mind up on who's right and wrong. So I'm sure there'll be stuff in them chats, I reckon. Carnage Macarite sport, I like Val, but his behaviour ain't right. He needs to check his ego on this one. Just like the Odos. He said in the video he was dealing with some stuff, so hopefully he can work it out and come back. I hope not. If I'm honest with you, it's unforgivable what he's done now, I feel. It's a bridge too far, like you said. It's just ridiculous, you know, calling out content creators and stuff like that. It's just stupid. Trying to see who was talked about. No, it's a guy called Val who was a content creator. an official one. So yeah, not freeze. So yeah, tactics, but we've got screens. We have. Freezer's port. Scroll again. I always promote content creators so they come up like Soldier, and wasn't it to help me? Yeah, exactly. No, and Soldier was there before me. I think he was taking a break actually when I pulled through, but he was definitely started before me and all that. So yeah, tactics. A lot of people mistake an opinion as fact. Yeah, definitely, that's the case. Andrew Stevenson, mad rant. I know. Goody Fox put when I did my own content, I ordered the bots and show off the bots. I did not do much more than that. Just did it because I love the game. Yeah. Honest question, was it in chat who was Val? It's a content creator, like I said. Yeah. Fox the Bond Sport, I think you've been around long enough that we know you're a class act buzzer. Well, love that, thanks. But it does mean a lot though, because I'm always honest. And you know what hurts the most? Not the name calling, not that. It's when people say that I'm not being honest. That's what hurts the most. I'm like, really? If anything, I've been nothing but honest throughout the entire thing. Honestly. It's your boy, so I just want to make pretty videos. You do that, brother. You do that. What else? Dark Lancer Sport. The only issue with Seal that Ozu changed was it was missed in the newsletter Discord. Yeah, I agree with that. You know what? Again, you know what? If you would have put silent nerf, it'd have been right. But the word shadow is the key word there. A shadow nerf is an intentional act to be deceitful. That's the key word there. And Steven's bought such a shame. I did like Val content as well. Well, some people said it was a mold, but what am I to say? And that's not come from me, by the way. Someone just said that in the chat today, and I was like, well, yeah, when you think about it, maybe a bit. It's your boy Souls put the bundle from last week not up. Who in the shadows keeping us from bundles we want? Should it be up still? I think they said it should be, didn't they? I don't know. Ronnie, so why did they release CL with AoE and leave? No, they released it with single. At some point, he's changed to AoE, or maybe it wasn't on release. And they don't know. They didn't know. Listen, for a long time last year, they thought that the game was ending. So why are they going to start fixing bugs that think the game's ending? And then literally over Christmas, then they realised the game was continuing, and they had a plan in place. But the first thing they had to do was get the game over to Yodo 1, and that only happened about a month ago. Completely. And that's why it took so long. What else? Ronnie's put, this shouldn't have been a big deal if they gave some refunds, rank skips, BB and Combat Spark. We get nothing. Kind of agree. I think they said that they can't do skip reverts. That's a problem. That's a problem. Michael Nicholson's put, the one thing I will say about Val, you can tell two of you come from completely different backgrounds, culture, and it showed with him. Not making an excuse, but would like to hope that is the case. I don't know. I am from the culture. I'll be honest with you. Like, I wouldn't say I had a good upbringing, but I was brought up in quite a rough area, and the whole snitches get stitches sort of thing. You don't rat on people. You got your brother's back. You got my back. I've got yours. That's the way that it was around where I live, and I still live there now. I'm honest with you, in that area, and that's the way you come from. Honesty, and sort of camaraderie. And that's where I stand from. Grind time has been so on. He's got things out of playtest twice. True. Algorithm, how do we scan the QR code in Discord though? Maybe it should be. No, it isn't. It's been really difficult. We did discuss that as well at the at TF Nation. It was difficult. They're gonna work something out maybe. But the best thing is to get the QR code and then scan it with your phone if you can. Spent 0787. What's the rough area, was it? It's a place in Manchester, North Manchester. So the outskirts of Manchester, and there's not many nice places in the outskirts of Manchester. Michael Nixon's put, well, if it wasn't for you, was it, I would never been introduced to freeze. That's what I like to hear. Good to know. Cuddy Fox, but I'm from the culture of being respectful to my elders, having an honest conversation to work out differences. 100% agree, apart from work out differences sometimes a bit too far. Spend 0787. Oh, for Manchester yourself. Oh, we should meet up then. I've met up with Vic Ching, why not? It's a place called Middleton. Put it in the chat what you think of Middleton, and be honest. I won't be hurt. Yeah, it's a place called Middleton where I'm from. So yeah. Let me know where you're from as well in Manchester, just out of interest. Yeah, place called Middleton. Tracks, rough place to where the Pinky Blinders hang out. Spend 07. Wow, that is rough. It is, I'm not gonna lie. Spence and Salford, well, quite similar, yeah. We're both from quite rough areas. Cyberdynamics, Old Trafford, that's not a nice place, that's a leaking roof, well, we won't get into that. Football, politics, but yeah. Yeah, I am from Middleton, but yeah. Oh, you're quite close actually, Spen. Around the corner, is what it is, yeah. Both not nice areas. Right, okay, let's get into some less political content than any, guys. So, I'm not at a stage yet where I want to start doing tier lists because things are changing very quickly, things are getting buffed, things are getting slightly tweaked, things are getting nerfed, and that's not going to stop anytime soon until they get the balance sort of right. And then hopefully towards Christmas we'll get another, not quite as big change, but we'll get some more changes into one big drop. I think more buffs than nerfs. But there are a few things that are slightly overpowered right now. But what I will say to people is that if you have this bot, go and use it. To good effect. It's going to be good. There are a few bots in there that are overpowered. One what we're going to talk about now. If you don't have it, I wouldn't chase it, because by the time you've got it and leveled it, it might be nerfed a bit and brought back in line. So what I'm saying is, guys, whilst you have this, use it. But don't put any resources in it that you're going to regret. Important. But since the buffs, something's come through that even I was surprised about. So for a long time, the best healer in the game has been Minerva. Absolutely crazy healing. So she not only had her own healing, her own sort of micronus just on herself, a bit like a self-repair core, but she also had a tower that healed for 12,500 health, which is crazy. Granted, it was over 15 seconds. But it was impressive, and it made her the best healer in the game, hands down. You won't see a tier list, you won't see anyone argue with that pretty much. Minerva, the best healer in the game. But then the balance patch said, hold my beer. Now we've got Ratchet, age-old bot since one of the first bots in the game. Now we could look at the stats and say 10,800. Same sort of rank, major. And you can look at Minerva and go 12-6. You can go, well, Minerva's still better than Ratchet, surely. But the difference is, this is 10,900 in 8 seconds. Whereas Minerva's is over 15 seconds. So that heal bomb is instant. And not only does it heal, just like with Minerva, it also adds a 40% damage reduction shield as well. And as we said earlier, damage reduction stacks. So if you're using any sort of damage reduction from another bot or another combat, and you're using Ratchet, that is crazy OP. The amount of healing your bots get that quick is madness. And when you look at it as 1,362 per second, compared to 842, it's a huge difference, guys. And it is notable. Because your guys heal up so quickly and then have the damage reduction. And so I've literally been running Ratchet and Wheeljack in my teams. I've literally been running the two of them. I use Ratchet for the healing. I use Wheeljack for the speed up and the healing. But you've also got to think as well, is on top of that, so yeah, it's crazy OP. It's 4+2. Minerva's 5+5. I've been using 2 heal bombs sometimes. There's been plenty of times in wars in the past where I've used 1 Minerva tower and I'm like, I could do with using another one, but it's 10 ability points. It's a lot of ability points. Well, with Ratchet, it's 4+2. It's 10 ability points for both. It's 5 ability points cheaper for 2 uses. And so if you've got Ratchet right now, or Hook, if you're Decepticon, go and swap Minerva and Flatline for Ratchet or Hook. You won't regret it. But like I said, if you haven't got Ratchet at a decent level, don't put too much into him. I don't think he's going to get nerfed that much, so he's irrelevant. I think you'll get nerfed to a bit more than this. I think about 7,000. I think he'll do about 7,000 healing with the damage reduction shield over 8 seconds. Will it be good still? Yeah. I think he'll do this. I think he'll do 800 roughly health, but over 8 seconds. Give or take. So, I think it'd be a good point still. So if you want to invest in him, don't worry. It's not going to be awful. But I do think that's going to get reduced. But maybe it won't. Who knows? This is the sort of chance we take at the minute. But it is considerable. If we compare the healing amount between the two, Minerva, 586 with 13k health. Ratchet, 706 healing with 15k health. 3.3 speed, 3.3 speed. What's not to like? So yeah, go and give it a try, guys. Go and try Ratchet in your war team. Might help you just keep your bots that alive a bit more, slight bit more, a bit better. Save some points and try and win some top world maybe. So we can all sort of complain about the nerfs, but let's look at some of the good buffs, like I said, like this. Take advantage of it while you can, and then we'll see where we go from there. But go and take advantage while you can and go and get some good war rewards. No, Tracks. I said Minerva's too expensive and sometimes I want to use it 2 times and won't. Never 3 times. Won't catch me out. Rewind it back. Twice. I don't even use it twice, really. I use it once, twice most. But there, you missed a lot. I'm not going to lie. I'm not even lying. CGL, whatever bot you spend time, money on upgrading, they will ruin the following week. What's the point? I will flip that. Whatever bot you spend time, money on upgrading, that's not very good, they'll buff soon. So why not? Michael Nicholson Sport, well, can we have a discussion about first aid then? It wasn't on the plans, but we can have a look at it. I don't think we've got him in 5-star, have I? Yeah, we have, yeah. Let's upgrade him a minute, just for you. Actually, I don't need 30 mil. It's amazing. We've only had this in the game, eh? I mean, it'd be ridiculous, like, but hey. Research. As you can see, I've done this far too much. Let's have a look. So first aid, 296 healing in an area. That's 706, so yeah, we're hitting more than one bot, that's good. Let's upgrade this a minute. Let's use these a minute because I haven't got a spark, so I don't want to waste on my spark. Got 200 of them, so it's fine. Test account, guys. Remember that. Give him 11. Let's max him out. So 296 healing versus 706. Then 40% damage reduction, 2 seconds, and restores 489 health per second to their target as well. 489 per second. 500 health per second. There's 2 of them. So that's 1,000 health per second. For just 4 ability points is pretty mad. I think that probably needs reduced down a bit, maybe. But hey. And I think the health needs improving with that, really. And I don't know, maybe. I don't think it needs changing. I think the healing needs reducing. I think the health needs improving for the Medibots, I think. Make them last a bit longer. Yeah, still pretty good. Last Lions spot I had and Ratchet for a while. I will still use them for what if nobody rushes to them and use them, they will still get reworked. I think maybe, yeah, there's still everyone knows they're a bit overpowered. Cyberdan maybe was done out with HQ19 in mind. Nope, they have said they are balancing it for right now. Forget HQ19. Although HQ19 is obviously in the works for next year. Imagine the beating your team would get from front-loaded bases without decent protection. Yeah. Downlands Lifestyle needs to have a way to convert 500k million XP to large amounts. Yeah, I agree. It's on the. I think that's one of the things on the list of things that they want to be nice, but yeah. Yeah, Cruel Spot to fair, his minions die super easy. Yeah, the healing's overpowered, but his minions die too easy, so yeah. Last Lions put the bots split up. They're not both going for the same target 99% at the time. Well, maybe not. Maybe make Medibots immune to damage. No, I don't think they can make him immune because then he'll never die and using it once and then never again. So I don't think that's the answer. Just open him a bit so they, they will take a bit of damage but not die too quickly. Yeah, I mean, last time you probably using more than me, so you're probably not right. Listen, I'm not gonna go out there and be like, oh my god, oh my god, I'm first aid is a nerf. I've not even tried him, so I can't comment. But people say he's really good, but how good he is, I don't know. Thank you, Michael Nicholson, for the super chat. Appreciate it. But thanks for upgrading first aid for me. It's alright. And if you want a screenshot of his, have we got his G1? I mean, he's super chatted, so it's rude not to win it, I think. Let's put his G1 on him. Give him the whole hog. You can see what his stats are. Least I can do, I suppose, for a super chat. So many cores, upgrade them, honestly. Cuddy Fox, they don't want to use Scar and Prime Knockout as medics. They can have 2 attacks and maybe then range special. No, I don't think. Well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I was gonna say no, because triple change, but then there's some bots in the game like Taz Kid who has 2 abilities, like Whirl, so it's not just triple changes it. So maybe that's a healer having 2 abilities. Maybe that's a good idea actually for a new healer. I'm stealing that one, Cuddy Fox. I'm stealing it. Andrew Stevenson, was a good combat for Rush. He runs into battle too quickly. Yeah, that's why I said that combats need a bit of a buff, a bit of a change. But maybe that's the thing, that they run off and die. Maybe, I don't know. I want some more combats geared for scouts. Triceratops shot is rubbish. We need. I also said to the team, we need some gunners that have anti-hack and anti-cryo and stuff like that. So there's nothing wrong with having a gunner combat that does damage something, does cryo, and protects against cryo maybe, or does a hack. And I'm surprised Peacemaker didn't have anti-hack actually. But anyway, but yeah, King Grimlock's put best healer in the game is still Standstorm because he also does damage. I know we have to use his ability to get him healing. That's the problem, isn't it? That's the problem. Okay, cool. So, obviously been quite positive in the game quite recently. And so I think it's going to be one of my first real negative things for a while. And obviously we announced the new 5-star batch last week. And we've been starting testing those, which is obviously Snapdragon and Jetfire Sky Striker. But we've not actually tested 5-star Trailbreaker yet once. It's the day before the event. And we still don't have 5-star Trailbreaker in test. We have 4-star Trailbreaker. We can use him. We don't have 5-star Trailbreaker. So we'll have to look at this and imagine 10% more stats, sadly. But we do have ability 11 here, but I didn't want to do it without people seeing. So it's allies within the force field now heal for 3% of their max health every second. That's pretty cool. It is only 12 seconds though, which is not massively long, but it's still pretty good. An upgrade item. So we've got, for 13 seconds, generate a force field that grants you and your fellow Autobots a reflection shield. Reflection is 32% of damage received. Your allies within the force field heal 3% of their max health per second. So yeah, 40,000 health, 369 DPS. Warrior. No G1 core yet to show. That's not come out yet. Thought it might be in this event, but sadly not. Stat and support Thought Dales, there's not much difference between the 4-star and 5-star version. 10% stats. That's what you're looking at. Let's put him in here. Protoss, but you can see a G1 core in challenge battle. Oops. So let's have a look. Let's put these guys down. Let's put Trailbreaker down. Then we can use his ability. And you can see there. Puts a dome around the team. And it carries on slightly after he's moved. Carries on completely after he's moved. Then stops. Let's have a look. 6 seconds. Let's see how long it lasts for. Oh, it's not bugged, eh? But the shield comes up and it keeps attacking. I've not used Trailbreaker that much, Lancer, so yeah. So yeah, so it's supposed to work. It transforms and then continues. Not bad. So obviously the big question that everyone says is, should I go for him? So I think if you're an Autobot and you need Trailbreaker for Skyrim, I think it's kind of a must-have. I think. If you're a Decepticon, nah. But the big question I think that's going to be on people's lips is, who should I use? Should I use Trailbreaker? Should I use Trax? Should I use Overlord? So we've got the 3 here. So we've got one that's a warrior. Warrior. We've got one that's a special. Range special. And we've got a air class. So what are the pros and cons of each? So in terms of Trailbreaker, I think the pros are that it's fairly cheap at 3+2. It's good that the dome appears and then he walks sort of with the team so that the dome moves as well. 12 seconds is a decent amount of time for protection. And it's generally 32% reflection. So it does do damage back to the attacker as well. Like I said, 3+2 is pretty cheap. Now, Overlord is slightly different. When he transforms, he starts firing rockets, so he stays in place. So it's a bit more suitable when you're fighting outpost boss or something, when you know you're not going to move. Now, it's 50% damage reduction, which is a bit more, but it's 3+4. So, same initial cost, but I think if you're going to use it more than twice, it starts getting expensive. But the big difference for Overload is the hack immunity. That's a bit of a game changer. There's a lot of hack bots in the minute, and a lot of people are using Cosmos and Mindwipe in outposts and causing absolute chaos with them, I might say as well. You've obviously also got Computron and Wildkaiser on defense as well, causing issues. So that hack immunity is huge. It does a bit of damage as well, but I think that's by the by. But that hack immunity 15 seconds, along with damage reduction, is great even on defense as well. And then we've got Trax. Now, Trax for me has always been quite OP because his first cost is 2, and that is super cheap considering it's 70% damage reduction. Now, if we compare that, like I said, to Overload, who's doing 50% damage reduction, and we compare it to Trailbreaker, who's probably going to do about 35-40% with the 5-star version, 70% is wild. Not only is it 70%, it costs 2 ability points. Not only does it cost 2 ability points, it lasts for 21 seconds, which is crazy. And it also gives you an attack and movement speed as well. It is so OP, it's crazy. I think the fact that Overload and Trax can equip range combats as well is a massive win. And also the fact that Trailbreaker is kind of stuck with the alright combats. Yeah, there are some gems in there, but they're not the range combats that you want to see. So, for me, I think Trailbreaker is an essential part of Skyrim. So if you're an Autobot, you need to go for it. If you're a Decepticon, I think if you've got Trax, even as a 4-star, is better. You can place the smoke wherever you like. Trax don't have to be there. Trax can be another part of the map. And you can literally put it down if you want. Trax is far superior to anyone. And I get he's exclusive in the store right now as a 5-star. But you can literally use the 4-star. The 4-star is still better. I would say 4-star Trax is better than 5-star Overload and 5-star Trailbreaker. But if you are having problems with Cosmos and Mindwipe, Overload is a great bot to have, but getting him in position can be tricky. It's not a guarantee. Whereas Smokes you can put wherever you like. So, it's up to you guys which one you want to use. I can see usage for all of them. I think 4-star Trax is far superior than all of them. But it's up to you guys. I understand people chasing different combiners. I understand people using Overload anti-hack, and I understand Trax is absolutely amazing. But let me know what you guys think. Are you going to go for Trailbreaker this saga, this event? Just for the missing piece of Skyrim? Or are you going to go for other reasons? Or are you happy with Trailbreaker and go for him and you can go on his team? Or are you happy with Overload? I think he could do a job already and don't need Trailbreaker. Let me know. See what everyone's put. Dancer's put, I saw something on your stream a few weeks ago. I didn't ask, they work on a new campaign? I don't think so, no. Cuddy Fox, now they can give us a 5-star Mirage. I love his availability. It needs more though. It needs a buff Mirage. Definitely does. Overlord doesn't move with the squad. Yep, that's a good point. It's going to 4+2 to patch notes. A fair point. That'll probably change, obviously, I think today maybe. Maybe it's changing live server, but not changing here actually. Michael Nixon's put Trailbreaker or Hoist. Different utility. One's more healing, one's more protection, I suppose. So it's up to you. Tracks. Trailbreaker's G1 gaming 28% health and 12% DPS while inside the force field is crazy good. It might not stay like that. It's still in testing, don't forget. Cuddy Fox. I want 5-star Tracks, but I can't afford him. Yeah, fair point. I like him front load bases. Yeah. I wonder if I put all 3 on defense, how much fun that would be. Whether Track Smokes works or not, I don't know. I'll have to let Dale. It should do, really. Wait, it doesn't. It never has, but I think it should. Krotos put the thing about Tracks, though, is you can only use ability twice. There you go. Unless you Tracks. And you use Tracks 3 times. Third time is 16 points. No way, yeah. Grant says, but all the characters in the game are like Pokemon to you, and you just got to collect them all. True. Michael Nixon's put in the lower levels where I am. Cough, cough, gold. Other than Cosmos, I do not see a lot of hack. Peacemaker as well, but I get his kind of new combat as well. Bit of a problem. Lastly, and I'm going for Skyrain as well. I'm having another 5-star bike for collection just in case he gets a better at some point. Plus rewards are pretty good, yeah. Cyberdan, the casting area of tracks is not very wide. It's pretty wide. It's wide enough, I think. Tracks, no way I would use myself 3 times. I bet you play yourself 3 times though. Sorry, I couldn't resist it. Sorry. Goody Fox, if we get a 5-star Mirage, we'll get another 5-star Combiner. No. When all the combiners will be 5-star, we will get a 5-star tracks. The question is when. That's the question. Firepower, how long do you think it'll be for the next 5-star Combiner? I think a few months, but I think the next Combiner, might be Raiden. I was told it won't be Skyrain. That's what I was told. So I think Raiden will come next. Then I think it'll be Defensor. Then I think it'll be Skyrain. I think that's my guess. That is a guess though, guys. Here's a guess though. And last off, the bit that everyone's obviously been waiting for. Let's talk about Ruination. So Ruination's had another buff to try and get him in line. So Godsting getting 80% damage reduction for 6 seconds. That's changed from the 3-star, which is just slash your sword to the ground, dealing 4,000 normal damage in a small area. 4 stars had an increase of 5859 normal damage. And then the hollows have finally been fixed to more DPS. Now the 2-star ability is definitely better, and you can see from all the things in it that it is really, really good. The 3-star ability is a bit underwhelming. I don't think 1,000 normal damage is enough, and it is a small area. 5859 normal damage to enemies in the line is alright. It probably could do it a bit more, and the hollows is a whole another issue. But let's give him a go. So this is a maxed out HQ18. So I would like to try and test against HQ17, which we will shortly. We'll try and find one. Now for me, when I drop Ruination against the HQ18, I expect to be able to take a few defenses out, like most other combiners. You're talking 3 or 4 defenses, clearing a small area. When I'm leveling with him, if it's HQ17, I expect to be able to take the HQ out and maybe half the base. That's generally my test for where Ruination used to be, or where I want him to be roughly. If I can't take out a small section in Wars, it's not the end of the world. But I do need him for leveling. But let's see what he can do now. So, in terms of build box, we've got anti-healing, we've got anti-healing, we've got healing, we've got electric, we've got healing. So we've got nothing that counters Ruination other than obviously healing, which is going to heal defenses back up again. But there's no FFDs or anything, so put him down. Let's see if we can destroy some defenses with his 4-star ability. Don't forget, it's 4-star ability. You've got to collect the 4-star box with it, so it's not really easy to get. The 2-star and 3-star may be a worry, they're overpowered, but there's the 4-star ability. So you're doing about half, 2/3 damage there in an area. So let's try and finish it off with the other ability. Not bad range. You can see you can come back on yourself. Not quite done enough to the cannon there. You can see that the area effect isn't great. So if we rush him up here, try and get him out of the way. Let's try and do some damage right on the edge of it. Let's see how far we can go. Let's see how far he hits. See there, very limited range. And let's put his hollows down and try and clear some of this top area. Hit it with the Titan. Can we try and take it out with it, Raider? With Ruination. No. We'll see the hollows here. So the hollows actually haven't been fixed. Let's go on live. Don't tell me it's been pushed to live and not to there. What do you think it has? Let's start the whole thing again. Different stats maybe. Let's have a look at your stats on there and see if it's any different. Dale, you owe me some spark for this. Not spark, some combine. Oh, whatever. I got enough to fair, but joking aside. So 2-star damage, 8% damage reduction, 233 electric damage, 492 normal damage. I think it's the same in it. 5859 God Splitter, and then the hollows with 5% health and DPS and 5% DPS ability damage for 12 seconds. Let's give him a go. So in Zone 16, you would generally beat most HQ17s quite easily with Ruination 1 bot. Max HQs, not so easily. But you would come against these bases in Zone 17 and it'd be an easy win for Ruination. So let's give him a go. Let's see if he's up to the standard. Push him in position. Use the God Splitter and try and finish them off. And you can see there, he can't even reach the same range as God Splitter to sort of combo it. It's a bit of a problem for me. Rushes in with the shield. See there, really short range. Then we put the hollows down. And as you can see there, the range he has cleared is tiny in comparison. They are doing damage to the HQ because obviously it's mayhem mode, it's not elimination. But you can see there that obviously this is mayhem mode. The battle would continue once I've killed the HQ. But you can see there that the defenses that we've cleared, we're talking 5 defenses against the HQ17. So if we're talking in unison with other combiners, Volcanicus can do more than that, Computron can do more than that, Omega can do more than that. So although I appreciate the hollows are better, they're doing more damage, it's a step in the right direction, but it still needs more. It's still not quite there yet. And I'm worried for this weekend for leveling bots. So this weekend, I'm not going to level any bots. I'm going to run full teams. I'm just going to run myself down and try and get 70k or thereabouts free to play. I'm not going to spend and level. And I've always said that, listen, if you're not happy with something, it's fine not being happy with something, guys. It's fine to go and express to the team that you're not happy. Don't spend if you want. I'm all for that. If anything, if you don't spend it, let them know that you're not happy, and I'm 100% behind that. But go and let them know. But also let them know what you would change and why you would change. Me, I think the range increase from God Sting, I think it is, for the 3-star ability definitely needs to increase. I think the 4-star needs to increase as well. I think the 5-star hollow needs to maybe be better as well. And I said to the team, I talked to Sam when we were at TF Nation, and I said I can understand having low HP and high DPS because in top walls they're going to melt against high level defenses and outpost bots. But against HQ17s and lower defenses, Getting 3 bots in the field, I understand, might be a bit OP, but it will help to clear it. Maybe they should only be on the field for 30 seconds, maybe. I don't know what the solution is. But definitely there needs to be something in place to make it easier to level with Ruination, because no combiner can actually do what he does. No combiner has an after effect that can clear the base after it is dead. Omega has the lightning bolts. That might clear a few, but there's a lot to be said in the events for skipping outpost bots and skipping outposts and not popping them. No combiner can do that other than Ruination. Because the holes don't pop outposts, they can clear an area around the outposts and leaves your bot free to clear the rest. So, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Hopefully, Ruination can be improved to be better. And hopefully leveling can come back again. Until then, personally, I'm not leveling or power leveling any bots. I'll just run full teams for now. But let me know what you guys think. How do you think Ruination can be improved to hopefully improve him and make him relevant again in leveling? Let me know, guys. Yeah, I would actually grind time. Just for you. There you go. Firepower, try to level with him in Mayhem. If he can't do Zone 17, Zone 16 in or Prime League in this, then he won't do it in that either. So I'm not going to bother. Doubtless put Watch Roadbuster walk away. Yeah, that needs fixing as well. Carnage Macaritis, but does this seem like a 5-star combiner? No, it didn't. I agree. Firepower's what combiner should I upgrade? Either Omega Supreme, Volcanicus, or Computron. Obviously, the easiest to do right now is Omega Supreme, but costs quite a few 5-star shards, so I'd probably go with Omega Supreme. Firepower's put, I've got all of them except 4-star Skyrim, no 5-star combiners. I'd go for 5-star Omega Supreme, it's pretty good and quite easy to attain. Down, let's put Magna Boss. Yeah, it's good, but it's alright. But yeah. Cuddy Fox has put, wonder why they are thinking of this way and not showcase a new bot con. Usually a 5-star bot upgrade is a mid-event and not where event used to be. They replaced it with this. That's what did it. Firepower's put 45 minutes left. Charge your shield, Jen. Everyone's like, oh my god, charge your shield, Jen. There's 18 hours of war, guys. Chill out. Crota, were you power 11 in events? Zone 17, I was power 11. Yeah. Ruination, 1 bot, Zone 17. I did some streams with Ruination back in the a few months back. Go and check them out. Go and check out my leveling streams with Ruination, my play streams, like some music and stuff like that. Go and watch it. I was literally just soloing with Ruination pretty much. Yeah. Could do one of them again. I can't this weekend. I'm actually away this weekend, so I'm just going to upload some videos now ready and then post them over the weekend. But yeah, that's the idea. Darklands 4 plus XP per battle. Yeah. Yep. Ioga Rhythm Spot, I just need HQ17 to get Omega to 5 stars. He's already my go-to combiner. Yeah, it's very, very good. It's a good combiner. He is. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to level this weekend the way I used to, and I'm not going to start testing things at that time. But I'm going away with the kids this weekend, just to the coast. Actually, near Dale, weirdly enough, on the east coast. So I'll be over in the place called Cleethorpes. So yeah, if you are anywhere near Cleethorpes, then let me know. I don't mind taking half an hour out to meet someone, maybe or something like that. But yeah, just going to a caravan for the weekend, just something out of nothing really, just to get away a few days. Chill out, take the kids, do some pitch and putt, teach Jacob a bit of golf. I do like a bit of golf, so yeah, I'm going to teach Jacob that. And I say teach him that, I'm not playing in about 12 years, so yeah, a bit of golf and a bit of swimming, go on the beach with the kids, just stuff like that really. Cuddy Fox, I did almost 50k last weekend without even trying much. Yeah, it's easy enough. I should be free most of the weekend. Yeah, decent. Spent 0787, put nothing wrong with that, was there? Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, we weren't going to go away this year. We're paying some debts off, stuff like that. We said rather than go away, and then the wife's like, "Can we go away for a weekend?" I was like, "Yeah, go on then." Yeah, Doesn't cost much, just go to a caravan for a few days. So we're going with my mother and my stepfather, and then we're gonna do like a few games and stuff, and we're gonna do a few watch a few films, watch some films with Jacob. So just some bits like that, some like 90s, 2000 films, something for once. Andrew Stevenson, Ability 11 for Wheeljack worth it? Yeah, if you use him, obviously, then yeah, I think Ability 11 for most people is worth it if you use him a lot. If you don't use him, then no, but yeah. Did I just see an AB jump across my screen? Did I just see an AB jump across my screen? That was bizarre. Am I seeing things? Am I seeing things? I saw AB jump across the screen, didn't I? I just noticed it right at the end when it jumped across. I was like, I was looking at this chart. Like, what? Firepower, have you seen the Lego Transformers? If you're into the toys, then a few things, yeah. If it's a series, then no, I didn't know. Let me know in the chat what you mean, if it's a toy or it's a thing. Got me intrigued now. Lego Transformers series? That's pretty cool, actually. Lego Transformers thing? Lego? Nah, not too fussed, really. Not my thing. So I went to TF Nation collecting toys. Some of them were like, but then you look at the Titans and stuff like that, they combine it. And they were overpriced because you can't get them anymore. But I was like, wow. I mean, like, I saw like Combiner Wars, Menasor for like £150, I think it was. When I remember him being like £100 in the shops. So it's £50 dearer now. And that was second hand. That's second hand, by the way. That's not even brand new in box. Second hand. So it's dearer than it was. It's 1.5 times dearer second hand than it was brand new. It's like, no thanks. Although I've only got 2 parts of Menasor, and I was like, I could do with that. Right, cool guys. That is it for this week, guys. Much appreciate everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to hit a like on the stream before you leave. Don't forget to subscribe. Not subscribed already, guys. Cost you nothing to subscribe, and contrary to popular belief, none of my content has been a paywall. You can paywall to watch it faster, or you could watch it stream again. It's there for everyone to view if you want. I just make it a bit more compact and a bit smaller for everyone, so it's still free for everyone, but at least you get it a bit sooner and a bit quicker and a bit more compact and a bit more reachable. But obviously you're helping me as well just by supporting me as well. So much appreciated to my members for supporting me. But that's it for this week, guys. See you next week. Thanks for joining in, and peace out, guys.